Hey everyone, welcome to the back 9 of round 1 at the Idlewild Open, presented by Dynamic Discs. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Madison Walker.
We are watching a feature card here, focusing on Sarah Hokom, Macie Walker, Ohn Scoggins, and Missy Gannon, also featuring this beautiful deer.
There's geese on the card, there's deer on the card.
Just wildlife abounds. Paige Pierce shooting hot. Missy and Sarah also one down. Being under par after the front 9 has to be an amazing feeling. Someday I hope to feel that feeling.
You really do want to get the birdies on the front though, because the back 9 can eat you alive. We'll start out with this par 3 that can absolutely do that so quickly. It's only 368 feet, but it is uphill. It does play longer. And there's so many of these little sticky trees that can block you even while in the fairway. And if you kick off the fairway, Lord help you. It's really hard to get to the green.
This one plays so sharply uphill that it is an absolute bonus birdie if you can get maybe into circle 2. It just plays so long. This is an insanity, and that's pretty much as good as it gets. Really well done.
Ohn giving it some height, which is so scary on this hole because if you catch a tree, that means it just kicks farther into the woods. But she doesn't. She's in the middle and she's way down there.
Missy with her thrasher. She's been lacing shots with this, getting a lot of distance. This is left side with a weird bounce, but she's way up there also.
Yeah, if you are going to error, I think the left side deep is where you want to error. Just bailing a hyzer out is the play.
Wow, she has so much power. This is a Raider, missing everything.
Wow.
Getting a look. I mean, a long look, but still.
Yeah, that's a jump putt.
Yeah, Macie has a lot of power, both backhand and forehand. Ohn, perfect little upshot there.
Ooh. Sarah squeaks by that tree, makes her way inside the circle. Missy does another little early release on her approach, but she'll have a long putt.
She said, okay.
She'll have a long putt, but, I mean, that is still in her wheelhouse. Comfortably. Macie will have a tap-in par. There were no birdies on the day for the FPO field.
Oh. Wow. So close.
50% with a par, 50% with a bogey or worse.
Yeah, par feels good here. And looks like we're going to see 3 of them, and Missy just barely taking the bogey. She almost had that putt.
Love a tap and par on any hole at Idlewild.
Yeah. Just minimizing stress out here is important. By the end of the round, you don't want your blood pressure to be skyrocketing from stress. Hole 11 is the shortest hole out here, under 200 feet. Par 3, straight putter shot is great. There is a hyzer backhand with a higher speed disc. You can throw sidearm. You can kind of do whatever you want here. If you can, a lot of people land just short of that, what do you want to call that, wall, I guess, where it's built
Berm.
up. And a lot of people give it ace runs, but if you end up behind the basket in the trees, it can make it tough.
Yeah, you do want to avoid just like crashing into that berm because a lot of times it'll force your disc onto an angle and get it to roll down this hill and land in the little gully at the bottom.
Hokom and Ohn doing really well to get up there. Macie also taking the hyzer route.
Love that play.
Yeah, you don't usually see this much. You mostly see straight shots, generally. But I practiced with Ohn, and she took that hyzer route, and she's like, I can just hit it every time. It's more open than it looks. Wow.
Great shot from Missy.
A little bit more of the typical play, I think. That was a crystal fierce from her.
Ohn giving it a bid from circle 2.
Yeah, she's a little off on the putting green today. She usually just makes everything all the time.
Macie getting nubbed on this elevated basket. So awkward to putt uphill here when you're short.
Uphill and elevated. It's just, you almost don't want to land right next to the wall because then you have nothing. Like, you have to throw
It's like
a turbo or something.
You want to like basketball it in.
So Sarah and Missy taking the birdies, and Macie and Ohn taking the pars.
46% of the field with a birdie. Love to see it.
Yeah, this is like a little gift in the middle of the round. Like, here you go. You can birdie this one.
Hole 12 is not a gift. It is a par 4 and it is a tough one with the distances that the FPO field bring. You can throw a putter straight and land it in the flat just at the end of this little road, or you can be a little bit more aggressive and throw an Anheuser backhand or a sidearm and hopefully get down into this flat right here. If you can land in the middle and give yourself some good footing, it's a simple hyzer into the green, but a lot of times you're going to find yourself in the trees and having to pitch out. The basket is perched on the edge of a
steep downhill.
Tongue twister. Steeply sloping downhill. It can roll. I watched some rolls happen yesterday.
This first shot, it's really easy to push too straight. It's really easy to go any direction, actually. But it's a little bit shorter than you think if you're just trying to throw a straight shot. I think a sidearm is definitely the highest percentage play to get around the corner just a little bit. Ooh. She turned it.
Ooh. But it lays out in the middle.
It's going to be a tough angle from there. It's really hard to get any distance if you're short of the corner.
Love that shot from
This
Ohn.
looks good.
That's a.
She's still going to be fine. Well, oh wow, that's terrible.
That yellow disc is just loving to hightail into the woods today.
Man. Macie just pulls it a little bit as well. Fairway hit. So there is this kind of small gap.
Oh.
I wasn't talking about that one. There is a small gap on the right side that you can sneak through on the sidearm, which is one of the reasons I think it is a good play off the tee. Missy with a bit of a pulled shot, but she gets away with it.
Really awesome shot from Macie. From short of the corner, still managing to get way down there.
That was really cool. That was a escape to get out of the woods.
Sarah throwing a sidearm out of the gap. The backhand's definitely the play here, but she's working with what she has and taking her medicine and willing to look for a par here.
Yeah, birdie is reachable, but not easy.
Yeah, definitely not a gimme. This actually plays as the hardest hole on the day.
That surprises me.
Me too.
I mean, you're thinking you can birdie it, but you're not thinking like, oh yeah, this is like, count it, you know? And there's just so much danger.
According to the UDisc stats, 57% of the field with a bogey or worse.
And you can see why. Macie with her third shot, looking to save her par.
I feel like it's the hardest hole according to the UDisc stats, but I also feel like it was like close to a tie with like 6 other holes for being that hard.
Gets an unlucky kick and then an even unluckier roll. This hill will just take your disc off to the right. I've seen him skip down there and roll down there. It's just really hard to land all the way in the green perfectly flat.
I'm taking a little tiny gap, but making it look big, getting way down there.
And still skipping a little too far.
Somehow getting through the second line of trees.
Sarah's third shot. Little backhand putter.
Oh, yeah.
Super smooth.
Looking super comfy with those backhand putter shots.
Missy with a massive putt. I'm wondering, yeah, this is just a layup from her. Oh.
Spike it into the trees. Hopefully slow it down.
Man, that was a long roll from Macie. She's just laying up.
Oh. When she misses, it's by an inch. The only 2 birdies on the day were from Vanessa Van Dyken and Ashley Bowman. Again, Ashley Bowman always doing some impressive birdies out on the course. She did that at Northwoods Black last week too, getting the ones that nobody gets.
Missy with a little bit of a tricky straddle, even though it's short. Yeah, she didn't look as settled as she normally looks.
No, it was definitely an awkward straddle through those trees.
Double bogey. Ouch.
Yeah. After we talk about how rare it is for Missy to get double bogeys, Idlewild's like, well, watch this.
Can happen at any time. Mm-hmm. This is the Y hole, where you're wondering why you're out here doing this. There's OB short, this creek here on the left-hand side. It just follows the creek bed. You're just looking to throw through the Y and land in this field somewhere. It is a par 4 and only 472 feet, so it's definitely reachable on your second shot. This creek here is OB. The green behind, or I guess the dirt behind the green is in bounds. So it, unlike some of the other little felt greens that are just tiny circles, it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, the out of bounds line, you up the hill on each end of the green. So it's safe to be aggressive on your shot to the basket.
Ohn throwing sidearm just because that's what she feels comfortable with, and it's fine that she's up that hill. She'll still have a great look to get down there for a birdie.
Macie going really aggressive with a backhand, letting it hyzer way out towards the green.
That was an explorer, and she's got a really long look for eagle.
Catches a tree where if she had not catched that tree, she may have been in the gully right short of the basket, which is an insane amount of distance.
I think that's the best drive I've seen, like the best line anyway. Wow. Also a great shot from Missy there with her thrasher. Hokom landing really short but in bounds. If she can get out the gap, she should be able to par it.
Slopey hill, almost takes her feet out from under her, but she still lands safe.
She's still out, and this looks, it's tricky.
Super pinched on the left-hand side. Super smooth backhand, though. That slows down.
Oh my god, she's just flirting. I mean, I think it was smart of her not to totally go for it and to just trust herself to make the putt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's still inside the circle even though she's on this side of the moat. I feel like Idlewild is borderline castle vibes.
Missy parked for her birdie, not even remembering that double bogey, just moving on. Ohn with a long look for birdie.
Again, that yellow disc, just Hot Wheels.
Macie with a good little touch sidearm. Again, all that dirt is safe, but she does roll in and parks herself. Wow, really well done.
Circle 2 putt.
Oh, man. Almost. This is for par save. Oof, not quite. It's really hard to save your par if you land short. Man, tap in birdie. Must be nice.
Yeah, 50% of the field with a bogey or worse. A birdie feels great here. We'll check in with the leaderboard before we move on to one of the tightest fairways on the course. Paige Shue still holding on under par through 12 holes. Really impressive. Sarah, the only other person under par. We've watched her play some really clean golf out here on the Idlewild course.
Yeah, Paige and Missy hanging in there. Heather and a bunch of other people, just a couple over par. That can all change by the end of the round.
Especially on this hole. Oh my goodness.
This is a tiny little gap, maybe 10 feet across. It really calls for a sidearm off the tee that curves to the right here. It's a pretty sharp dog leg. Once you get here, there's not like a great fairway to the pin. Like, the gaps are small. And then you have to cross another moat onto this green. And
Crash the castle.
It's conceivable to birdie it. But, like, you're just if you're so happy with par here. Macie really pulled it to the left, but gets through most of it. You're just thinking par from there. Backhand, interesting.
Catching that tree early makes the birdie absolutely inconceivable. There's really nothing you can do there. Even getting
Just grenade over the top.
Yeah, even getting a par from there is tough.
Right?
Wow, I think that's her Colossus little Hot Wheels disc. It like rolled in one direction, hit the back, and flipped up and rolled on the other side.
Sarah missing the gap right, but not bad over there.
Missy's still having to contend with this gap.
This played is the third most difficult hole of the day, and I would have guessed this one would be the first.
Me too, I was just going to say that. This right side can be okay. It usually has a little bit bigger gaps than the left side. But you never know. You just take what the course gives you.
There's so many trees.
Macie with a pretty good look at it, and she misses everything on a hyzer. Oh, she's OB in the moat. That sucks. She got all the way down there.
This is another hole where the moat is really just in the perfect landing zone. I mean, it's exactly where you want to be. It's exactly where your disc wants to filter to.
Man, Ohn is so far down here.
She's in the flat. What a great drive.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why she's my favorite.
Birdie of the day.
That is the best birdie of the day.
And her first one, right?
Yeah.
That's what she
Is
was
that-
saying?
is it?
Yeah, that's why she's dancing.
Oh, I thought she said best birdie. She said first birdie.
First and best, I think. Ooh. Spot her with some moves and an unfortunate red flag.
Sarah looking to put her third shot on the green.
No problem. It's kind of nice because that ditch kind of catches discs that are coming in with a little bit too much speed.
Also makes for some awkward footing on inside the circle.
I guess that's true. I've just seen some come in there pretty quickly, and it slows it down for you and keeps it close.
So much trouble around the basket. It's so easy to get those bogey strokes, especially spiraling out of control.
Yeah, Missy you almost don't even have a chance when you hit a tree that early. Macie, bogey is not the worst thing here.
Ohn with the
Woo!
birdie, the big birdie, and the only birdie in the FPO field during round one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I feel like that's going to be one of the only birdies on this hole on the weekend. There might be another couple, but they do not come easy on hole 4.
In this game, preparation is everything. It gives you that edge to become something from nothing. Success is not by accident. Because you know, the course plays no favorites. You know what it takes to be the best. In this game, detail matters. Idio Sports.
Hole 15 is a 387-foot par 4. Sub 400-foot par 4 feels kind of funny, but this This hole needs every single stroke you can get. It's a really narrow fairway up a very steep hill to get to this landing zone, to hopefully set up your second shot to pitch a sidearm or a turnover backhand to this green. There's so many trees and they're just absolutely in the perfect place to block your disc. But in reality, I think the biggest issue here is off the tee. It's really challenging to get your disc on the angle to get all the way up this hill. We do have a shorter tee pad than we have in years past. We used to play on the men's tee pad that's a little bit further down the hill and a little bit tucked back more to the right.
Ohn with her turn, I think she landed pretty much in the perfect spot. It's nice to be on the left a little bit because it opens up your next shot for a nice sidearm. Sarah doing the same thing. Let's see, she threw a Insanity. Ooh, it is rough over there.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be quite the scramble if she can save her par from the forest.
It looks like the FPO field liked the tee pad change. There's 34% of the field with birdies and only 11% of the field with a bogey or worse.
I think all the tee pad changes that they made, was there 2 or 3? Are really excellent for our field, making it a little bit more scoreable. Still not easy by any means.
No.
Just
Place will
slightly
never be
more
easy.
scoreable. This is a Thrasher again. Gets up the hill nicely, probably just outside circle 2.
Yeah, not able to get a bunch of distance from where she was, having to throw the standstill.
Oh, not quite getting enough turn on this, but that tree actually probably helped her. Lands just outside the circle. This is a Crave, and it looks good.
Wow.
Yeah. Perked. Wow, that's to go to 2 under. She's playing so clean. Has she bogeyed anything? My mind is blowing up right now.
I think she only has 1 bogey so far. Nope, no bogeys. I was wrong.
Wow.
No, wait, 1. Hole 13. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
wow, 1 bogey through 15 holes is unreal.
Man, Ohn is just a little bit off on her putts. Usually you can count her in from anywhere within 45 feet.
Macie also just barely off. I feel like every time she's missed, it's been just the slightest miss.
Par's good here, even though they don't look all that happy about it. Macie with the bogey after that early tree kick. Tap in bird. On to our longest par 5 of the day, 969 feet, OB lining the left and right side, but it's a pretty wide fairway. Normally there's a raging headwind, but we got lucky today and it wasn't too windy. You're trying to land up near this bush or past it on your second shot, that really bushy bush on the right, and try to get a look at the pin. If you can see it, it's a little bit easier to reach. There is yet another moat out here blocking the green, and on this one, the green really is just kind of that felt area. You can see the white line behind it.
It's so small.
You can maybe eagle it with like absolutely massive shots and probably a big putt. Most of us are just thinking, birdie would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the green is really small, and if you land safe on your drives, which I think we'll see most of the ladies do on this hole with no wind, that last shot down to the green is the one. It's the kicker where you're going to find strokes on this hole.
I think we're going to see people kind of just throw conservative hyzers because that's what we're used to doing in the wind. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's scary to be aggressive on this one because if you're out of bounds on your first or second shot, this hole can spiral quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost impossible to even just save a par if you're out of bounds on one of these first 2 drives.
This is a little early and it needs to bite. Wall tried to save her, but I mean, she can still par. It's just going to be a lot of work.
It's going to require 3 more perfect shots. Macie playing the wide hyzer, getting a lot of distance on it, biting off a lot more than most people.
Yeah, attacking just a bit more.
Thank you.
With her Raider. This is a trace.
Sarah looking like she's maybe going to bite some more distance off on her second shot. But she keeps it pretty low, pretty conservative.
A little shorter than you want, but again, that's the better play than getting wild and crazy and going OB.
Sometimes I wonder if just taking my medicine on this hole and doing what Sarah's doing, just chip, 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 and take your par, is the play for this. Because when you're just slightly out of position or just short, or even far enough to where the birdie is gettable, that green is just so small from up high on the hill that sometimes it feels like it's not smart to go for it for your birdie. Go for that
It's also just hard to lay it up from that distance. So, I don't know. I feel like you might as well go for it on your third shot. And then you just land in the moat. And then...
Make your putt.
Yeah, or miss it. That's fine, too. I do think it's worth it to attack. It's too far to, I feel like, meter your approach and land short of the green. Because it's a max distance shot for the most of us. Oh, no.
Going around the bush on her second shot, which is so impressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was going to be so far down there.
That's a lot of distance.
But you'll have to take it from before the bush or right at it, which is going to be rough. Man, so much discipline to just go for par here.
Now, does she go for the green or does she lay up?
I think she goes for it because,
I don't know.
I mean, otherwise... I mean, I guess it's another one of those where if you're on the far side of the moat, you're still inside the circle, so... Wow, this looks pretty good. It's turned a little too much. We'll see if it can filter. Oh, no. And this is the spiral in action.
It happens so fast on this hole, especially on that last shot. Oh, not quite getting it to turn, but it's still getting way down there. It'll land in the flat safe.
Yeah, she's got a circle 2 look for her birdie. Missy in a good position. She can probably just barely see the top of the pin. Just needs to throw ooh. I was going to say an anhyzer, but she held on to that. I mean, she did throw an anhyzer, just not in the right direction. Still, it's fine.
Yeah.
Circle 2 look. All right, I think she's going for the green. This is her trace again.
Coming in hot. Oh.
Dang.
Lands just barely short. Even if it had landed on the green, man, I'm just so conflicted on what the play is here on this hole. It feels almost like you're throwing and hoping on the last shot. Looks like Missy just opting for the layup. 50% of the field with a bogey or worse on this hole, and only 9% of the field with birdies.
Yeah, same as hole 3. I bet that moat caught a lot of people who were down there for birdie. I believe this is for her bogey save. Little stepper.
Oh.
Man, that one looked confident.
So close. She's been all over the basket all day.
Sarah, pretty close.
This is for her bogey save.
Bummer. So she will be at even par after that, which is still a good score, but...
Only 3 birdies on the day. Paige Pierce, Juliana Korver, and Rebecca Cox found the 4 on this monster of a hole.
double bogey cleanups and sad faces.
Yeah.
Just gotta move on from those ones. Hole 17 is a new tee placement. It has a much straighter shot right at it. It is also a $10,000 ace hole for the FPO field today. I'm not sure if it's all weekend or just today. This creek runs OB, just snaking throughout the hole. You can throw backhand or forehand. There's a bailout zone to the right of the pin where you can still putt from inside the circle. I like the sidearm. But yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want
There's
here.
also a bailout on the left-hand side if you want to throw a hyzer down the gap.
It's just a bit shorter. It doesn't leave you with as good of a putt as the right-hand side, or as short of a putt. Ohn pulls it, but looks like she stays in bounds.
I don't know if I like this tee pad change. I think I like the old hole.
Really? It was so hard before.
At least there was like kind of a pitch zone that you could get to safely. This feels just like a throw and hope to me. Like,
I think you can land safer here, like this way. I don't know.
yeah.
Whatever, I like it. Leave it in the comments if you know the tee pad placement from last year versus this year. Tell us what you think.
Well, great
This
looking
looks
shot
good.
from Sarah.
Stay in.
Such a nice looking shot, landing inside the circle but skipping out of bounds. She will have
a
a
tap in
pretty,
par.
pretty simple circle 3. As you can see, it's starting to get dark out there.
Yeah, we had a lightning delay, so we started a full hour. Oh wow, this looks good. Great shot. That was a fuse from Macie, and she'll have an easy birdie. But yeah, we had a full hour delay, so it's about 8:15 right now, I guess, maybe even closer to 8:30, and we're pushing dark. Wow, Ohn with a tough out, but she throws a little tomahawk and gives herself a putt. Missy looks like 1 inch outside the circle for her birdie. Ooh.
Worst case scenario there.
Yeah, Missy's struggling a little bit on the back. She's playing so clean. I mean, 4 over, once again, still isn't a horrible score.
That is just such a death putt. I mean,
yeah.
one little bad bounce, and if you don't catch that wall, I mean, it's gone.
Yeah, you can see Ohn kind of took some speed off her normally very powerful putt for that reason.
17% of the field with birdies, 43% with a bogey or worse.
There's just so much OB.
It really does feel like you're just letting go and just like, maybe it'll lay down. I hope it lays down. Please lay down. Nice tap and par for Sarah and a tap and birdie for Macie.
Yeah, that's awesome. No one with that $10,000 ace today.
Bummer.
So hole 18 is one of the hardest holes. Another par 5, 650 feet. Super straight tunnel shot. If you can get out of this tunnel in 2 shots, you are ecstatic. It's really tight. You're going to see all sorts of stuff off the tee. Putters, drivers, sidearms, whatever. And then there are these 2 trees blocking the green. They're very catchy, very handsy. You have to throw a really technical approach to park it.
Yeah, you can't go low and rely on the skip, though, because the grass is so thick, too.
Look how dark it is.
Macie,
Just like
late releasing, but kicking back into the fairway. Thank the Lord, because it's probably... Oh, my God.
it's so dark.
This actually played as only the 12th most difficult hole in the day, which is surprising because I feel like it's usually up there in the top 5 without even trying.
Yeah. Sarah disking down to a putter and just getting to the top of the hill, which is honestly so smart. I mean, it feels like a cop-out almost, but if you're off the fairway by a foot, it makes your second shot super difficult. Like, Ohn is not going to be having a fun time.
Ohn in the land of darkness.
It's funny every time.
It's crazy.
I mean, at least everybody did get to finish and doesn't have to come back in the morning.
Wow.
And this is really good, but she's still gonna be on this side and not have an open look. Like, she'll have to do something tricky.
Yeah, she'll still be pinched and forced to almost like scramble her way out back onto the fairway near the gap.
This is a trust from Macie. And, you know,
have a
pretty
sidearm
good.
out, yeah. Sarah from almost to the top of the hill.
This is an insanity. Pulls it a little and has a massive kickoff to the right into the darkness.
I think the tee shot is an easier shot to make than the second shot. Personally, I like to be aggressive off the tee and then conservative on my second shot because I feel like this gap is so much harder and so much more punishing. But they're both punishing.
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison.
Oh, she almost had it. I think she filtered. Oh, yeah, she filtered out. And we'll have a somewhat open look. Those trees might be in her backswing a little bit. This is an Envy. And she doesn't have much. That was about as good as it gets from there. Missy way down on the fairway after her first shot, but look at this massive patent pending lunge she's got going on. She's going to throw an uncomfortable looking hyzer to the edge of the gap. She actually made that look really smooth.
Yeah, it's a smart play to do the pitch out here too instead of trying to get aggressively out of the gap.
Yeah, she can still birdie it from right there. I mean, it would take an amazing shot, but she can. I believe in her. Oh.
The shots add up, and it gets darker. Yes. What an awesome standstill from Sarah. She'll still be right around the edge of circle 2, but
those trees kind of prevent you from being able to putt from circle 2 as well. But it was still a great shot from where she was. A little early. She'll also be in circle 2-ish, maybe just outside. One last forehand scramble from Macie with a defender. I think a forehand is a good line here to kind of flex it around that first tree. She turns hers too much.
you can see, looking at the scores at the bottom of the screen, just how much that back nine really can affect your score. Most of these ladies going into the back nine around even par and picked up a lot of strokes on those tough holes.
That was a cool play from Ohn to just go all the way around the tree. I like that a lot. Missy with a little fierce upshot. Wow, it looks so much lighter out of the trees. It's daytime again. And Macie just kind of struggling this last hole.
That happens so quickly. You're mentally fatigued. You're ready to be done. You can see the light. You still have to make so many shots.
Dinner and a shower and to sleep.
Oh. So many dots today for Macie.
For those of you who don't know, dots are metal hits. She's all over the basket today. Hokom with a single bogey to end 1 over, which again is not a bad score out here.
Only 5 birdies on the day today and 1 eagle by Paige Pierce.
Wow.
She may have had to make a 40-footer, but she did it.
Cool. Macie ending with a double bogey. Everyone in single digits, which is fine. Like, it's not what you want to be over par, but yeah, you can see Macie taking a couple triples and doubles at the end.
It's in reality, though, I mean, after one round, being 9 over, like Erika said earlier, is not I mean, you can still score. You can still get in the top 5. Everyone's going to have one of those rounds out here.
At least one.
At least one.
Checking in with the leaderboard here. Paige with that eagle getting back to 2 under par. Paige Shue holding strong all day, 1 under. Sarah Hokom stays on the leaderboard, and Juliana Corver at a nice 3 over. Rebecca Cox and who was that? Holly Finley also at 3 over.
2 woods technicians, one that's comfy on this Idlewild course. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on the back 9. My name's Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're your 2 hot geese.
Honk.
Honk.
Come hang out with us the rest of the weekend. Thanks again to GK Pro for the awesome FPO footage.